Did I have to fall like that? Maybe, probably not. Oh, and now my yarn is, oh. Okay, oh gosh. Hi. My name is Lindsay. Welcome to my quarter past arts and crafts journal. Again, I get all tangled up in stuff. Hi. I'm trying to film a little bit today. I have been very chatty. I think when I get nervous or anxious about anything, my mouth tends to just fly off the handle. And so that's why video is so great. It means I can just natter without worrying about bothering anyone. It's totally optional for you to be here. Just click off if you're not feeling this thing that I'm doing right now. But I've managed to, I think, work out some of my nerves just about the overall general state of things. I know that I personally have a lot to be thankful for, and I'm in a very, very fortunate situation. I feel the weight of that, actually. But there's a lot of other people who aren't, and the knowledge of that is kind of hard to stomach right now. I mean, it was hard to stomach before because, I mean, this is kind of not at all our first rodeo with terrible, world-threatening things. There's actually a lot of them out there, and it's hard news to swallow at any time. So rather than focus in on all our problems, which is, there is a time and a place for that, today, right now, because I think I've done enough problem sorting, I'm just going to try and focus in on a passion and focus in on something that's really making this difficult time a bit easier. So it's knitting, it's wool, it's fiber related projects, it's thinking about other people and trying to bring some joy and life and comfort towards whoever's in my vicinity. I've been trying to kind of keep my mind on those sort of things that have always brought me a lot of happiness. So I'm doing a lot of gift related knitting and also just working on a project that is dedicated to a friend that I talk about a lot, Lynn and Chris Anderson at West Coast Color. So I wanted to actually get some video documentation about a project, which is what I have all lined up here. So I think that's going to be the first thing that I start with, because it's the reason I hauled out my good Nikon camera instead of recording on my computer. I should really always pull this out, but sometimes just the convenience of flipping open my laptop, it just is too tempting. So, but I felt like this yarn and this project, it deserves the good pixel count. So I'll just start just to like undo this pile. Here, I'll grab some of these colors. Here we are. Yeah, so this yarn here, I've spent a lot of time caressing and loving on these skeins. There's a serious amount of love that is just been injected into these. If it works like that, I don't know if you can actually rub off good vibes onto objects or not, but I certainly have tried. So the wool, the base that this has been dyed up with is from West Coast Color. It's a base that she has not actually released yet, just because she's been working really hard at finding what sort of palette she wants to have, so it's required some experimentation. Also, it's a non-superwash yarn, so it dyes up a little bit differently than superwash, and so she's been really having a good time, I think, playing with that, because it does still accept dye really beautifully. And it is a 100% Canadian produced yarn, so the sheep are from Alberta. It's then spun and milled, processed in Alberta, and then Lynn takes it up to her farm in BC and she dyes it there. So she has a working relationship with Custom Woolen Mills. That's where she takes her flax fiber, and so she worked with them. I was there. I'm kind of like giving you all the dirty details of how this got started, but I was there when she got this yarn back from the mill, and she told me what she was thinking and what she worked with them to do. And it's always so neat to be brought in on the creative collaborations and how they kind of work. amongst people in this fiber community. And so they just did a beautiful job with this yarn. It's a fine fleece, so it's rambouillet, so it's soft. This is not an itchy scratchy sort of yarn at all. And when you knit with it and then when you wear it, it softens up even more. And it's a woolen spun, so it's got that lightness and that springiness to it. So the garments they have this nice body and shape, and it drapes a little bit differently than superwash yarns do, and worsted weight yarns or worsted spun yarns do as well. So the woolen spun, it just has this really fun and light and airy fabric that you get from it. So I dyed up a bunch of skeins of this. I've kind of got it all over my Instagram. Back last year, it was right around this time when I was just utterly convinced that I needed to figure out how to make my hobby into my job. And I was going to start off with knitting these shawls and make it into a project about loneliness too, that I wanted to do a little bit of writing and talk about some of my experiences with loneliness and isolation. But I lost steam on it for a bunch of reasons. A lot of it was just to do with necessity. It's like I just needed to find a steady income, and the pressures build. The bills keep coming and the responsibilities keep growing, and so I had to put it aside for a while and was kind of unsure of how I was going to keep going with all of it. So it dawned on me that I just wanted to try and use these skeins for some good in order to kind of give back in some way during a time where a lot of people are dealing with isolation and dealing with a lot of the hardship that has come along with the cancellations and closures. And so I wanted to give back to Lynn. She has been just so abundantly generous with her friendship with me since I've known her. And I know that she, like many other farmers, are going through a hard time right now. And so I thought, you know what? I'm just going to try and market these, and I'm going to donate the sales all towards their farm. And so I've just used the pictures that I had taken already, and I took some more pictures of these lovelies and stuck them up on Lynn's website. That way the funds will just go directly into her account. And I also knit some shawls. So there's actually 2 of each color. I think I could just quickly show them through here. So this is, I don't even remember the names I gave them anymore. My mind just moves on. But I do believe this one was called Sea Glass. And it's just sort of a minty, variegated greeny blue. There's a very deep, dark, sort of royal magenta purple. Beautiful mustard. And it's 2 grays. So this is a variegated gray. It's got some different lighter bits in there and some darker bits, and this is another variegated gray. So let me show you how they knit up. Here we go. So these are the shawls. And so this is the Sometime Alone pattern by Sylvia McFadden. I knit one of these shawls. I knit the pattern first with a friend of mine. Her and we decided we were going to knit friendship shawls, and we chose the Sometime Alone pattern, and we knit it in the same yarn, and it was just a really enjoyable experience. And it had me I think it was the name of it really, and also the book that it comes from, Gentle Armor. That's the collection of shawls. It had me thinking a lot about being alone while I was knitting these, and a lot about, how friendship and loneliness and isolation all are a part of, I think, everyone's lives to a varying amount of degrees. Some people experience a lot of popularity in their life while others don't. And also, you can go through different phases of your life too, where you feel more accepted by a group and or less accepted, and you kind of feel like you don't have your own place or haven't found your tribe or whatever, so to speak. And so I'm not sure how much I want to get involved in talking about it all right now. I think that I need to maybe just collect my thoughts a little bit more. I find it easier to go into this sort of thing in writing a bit more. It's just, I don't know why. Sometimes the pressure of saying things correctly, I think it just gets to me. Anyway, so I have some experiences with extended isolation and forced isolation. And I say forced isolation because I got sick. I got hit by a car and I got really sick for a while as a result of that. So I spent a lot of time kind of forcibly stuck at home because you got to try and heal. And I was not always the most cooperative about that. You know, I admit it that it was tough, and also there's just this such a drive towards wanting to do the things you want to do that I think we all have, and it's a stubbornness that can often work against us. And it's kind of, at least with my journey of being alone, it was like there's a necessity to it, but also there was just a complete lack of choice with it. And you know, I had to learn how to cope. We're all learning how to cope right now, and so crafting and having a hobby was a huge thing for me to help keep me feeling some semblance of together anyway, some sort of level of sanity. But being able to, I think about making things for other people allowed me to try and, I don't know, bridge that loneliness and that isolation a bit more, you know. Even though I couldn't always spend the time with people with them, I could be doing an activity that could be thinking about them. So yeah, I have a bunch of these shawls. Not all of them. I think I'm going to reblock all of these before I put them out in the mail, because some of them, I mean, the ends haven't been woven in and they've been in a bag and tucked in a box for so long. But I have lots of different colors, and I had so much fun dyeing these and knitting these and photographing them, and I really want them to be out comforting other people the way that they have comforted me. So yeah, I don't know if it's going to work or if it's going to happen, or, you know, whether or not, I don't know. You just never know, right? This is me trying to help using what I have, and I'm going to need other people's help to purchase them and make use of them. So if you feel moved and you've got the resources, I hope you maybe go and at least take a look at it and on our website. And I don't want anyone to feel pressured to buy anything. So it's like, if you feel moved, if you feel called, and you've got the ability and it's not going to put you out in any way, you know, I would love to bring one of these into your life. And I've got a few like other little details that I'm going to go along with these shawls, because I just want the whole thing to be really special. And so I'm going to do some hand sewn storage bags for them, and maybe some little lavender sachets, and, you know, natural moth repellent, and maybe I really want to do some little cards with them, and do some little notes of encouragement. Yeah, so it's kind of, I don't know, it's weird to talk about this sometimes, you know, like I had such a hard time when I first was starting out of trying to like brand myself or market myself in any way, and I realize now it's just storytelling. You just got to get out there and tell your story, and, you know, if it doesn't come off completely right, you don't say everything right completely the first time or a few times, it's okay. You know, you will sort out what you want to say, and it will come eventually. So hopefully this has been recording, so I'm just going to check that. Yeah, we're all good. Okay, so I'll put these down. That way I can talk to you about, I think we'll just move into, I guess, what I have in my hand right now. This is some spinning. So I have been working on it. This is a 3-skein project, and here it is. Here's the beautiful yarn. I have had just so much fun spinning this. I really like handspun that doesn't, from afar, it doesn't have a ton of variation. It kind of all melds together really well. So this is from West Coast Color as well. Not everything that I have here today is from her. But this is the fiber, and I've spun the singles for the other skein. I just need to ply them, and now I'm just working through the last bundle of it. It's just beautiful. This is her Polworth silk, and this is my sister's birthday present / Christmas present. I'm very, very behind on, but I've decided that deadlines just aren't for me. Things will get done when they get done, and that really is just the way it is with me. I don't always have the brain power or the willpower, so I'm just trying to be 100% real about things, and if they don't get to people right when I want them to, it's gonna have to be the way it goes. Yeah, so that was really, really fun. I'm not a technical spinner, so I can't really offer you any technical information. I try and spin pretty fine for the most part. I like the extra yardage. There's something about getting the yardage up there that's just fun. Okay, and then I have all of these little guys. This is kind of dream knitting. I'm not really even talking about my works in progress yet, but that's okay. So I was looking for a more affordable cotton, lightweight spring summer yarn, and I got some of this Belle by Drops. It's a viscose cotton linen blend, and I'm going to try making a t-shirt pattern, the Castaway pattern, out of this. That's going to be, I think, my next project after this project. This sweater that I've got going on, I've just been in Garment City all year this year. I've actually knit 4 sweaters already this year. This will be my 4th. I don't know what's happening to me. It's good though, I like it. I just want to knit everyone's sweaters. I've said that earlier, and I mean it. It's happening. But this is the Albini sweater. And this is going to be for a 93-year-old's birthday. And I think it's going to be perfectly her style because it comes up, the collar comes up a little bit on the higher side. Still got lots of ends to weave in. It's in desperate need of a block. It's kind of all poofed up in different places. I knit this pretty much exactly to pattern. The only thing that I changed is along the edges, so along the button band and along the edge of the bottom, and also along the cuffs, I did a little I-cord bind off just to add some extra structure and stability, because I have noticed it's one of the first places it starts to go on my sweaters. Tops of my cuffs, bottom hems, and button bands too. I've noticed that as well. So just gonna see what happens if I do that little extra reinforcing bind off. So this sweater is being knit with West Coast Colors, homegrown. So this is actually wool from her flock. Now I hope that this blocks out. You might be able to see it on camera here. Because when I purl, my gauge is noticeably different and it creates these ridges. So hopefully that will all relax because I knit these sleeves in the round. But yeah, this is homegrown from West Coast Color. This is from her flock of sheep. So her CVMs. She's got, I think, over 50 of them now. And this is the milk chocolate colorway. So this is from her 2018 undyed clip. There's actually 4 colorways naturally colored, so no dyes, from that clip, and they're all beautiful. And I have I'm so fortunate to have sweater quantities in just about every color. So you're going to be seeing a lot of me knitting with a lot of West Coast Color stuff. I might as well just call this her show because sometimes, it's just you get fallen in love with one thing and you just use a lot of it. You don't have to apologize. It's okay to like what you like. Yeah, so I've enjoyed knitting this pattern a lot. I'm going to see, I hope that it's all going to kind of work itself out a little bit when I block it because the button band is curling in a little. And I really hope that, I know I talk about Lynn just maybe ad nauseum, but I really do hope that you will go and give her yarns a try. They are really beautiful and she works really hard to bring them to you. So there, I'll try not to gush too much. I know it can get gross. Don't want to be gross. Okay, so I had a very spur of the moment cast on after I received some gifted Hillesvag from Espace Tricot. When my employer went on a trip there, she stopped in and picked me up some Hillesvag, which is just really also beautiful sheepy yarn. And I saw that Caitlin Hunter posted a new pattern called Festive Doodle, and it just crawled up to me. And here it is. So I am knitting this out of some very, I would say, very classic colors. And I really like this red, and the green is beautiful. I'm sorry, I don't actually know the colorway names for anything. I just wound these up totally quickly and just got started. And I just knit all of this yoke in one day because I was just having too much fun. I like that she has designed something specifically in mind to keep shorter color repeats, so you don't have to worry about floats too much. And it just makes it so it's just a super relaxing, easy knit. And it's also just, Colorwork has got enough attention grabbingness to it that you really do kind of just have to sink into it, and you forget about all your other worries as you're working on it. So if you need something to sink into, I would suggest some Colorwork right now, or some lace or something with some extra detail, so really gives your brain somewhere to go. So I'm knitting that in it. I think that it's a sport, or maybe even a DK, some of those yarns. So I'm knitting a size small, but I think it's going to turn out a little bit bigger than that. All right, so the last knitting project that I've been working on, and I've been knitting some socks and stuff that I don't have here to show, but this is a very sheepy yarn as well, but this has got a price point at it that is just very affordable. I don't balk at all at paying what farmers ask to be paid for their yarns. I know that they're not greedy people, and they work really, really hard for what they do. And there are other companies who have set up infrastructures, I think, and different ways of being able to manufacture things that they can. I mean, hopefully they're doing it in an ethical way. It's hard to say, but I have admiration for West Yorkshire spinners, weavers and spinners. I think that's West Yorkshire spinners. It's not weavers and spinners. No. West Yorkshire spinners yarns. This is made with 100% Jacob, and it is a very sheepy feeling yarn. It's got that natural rusticness to it that I really like, but it's got an affordable price point. And I know that, it's good to support our local people as much as we can, but sometimes the bank account isn't really allowing that. So if you still want to work with a nice farmy yarn, this is a really affordable one, and it just feels really good. So this is going to be a vest, a professor vest, and I just finished the back panel, so I'm working on the front panels now. I'm not changing anything about the pattern. I'm just knitting it and seeing how it goes. Knitting the large. I keep all the extra details of things in my Ravelry page if you want to know the actual needle sizes and stuff. I just really want to try and get things on camera more, so I kind of don't worry too much about the nitty-gritty details. I know that if people really want to know that, you have the option. There's places you can do it if you want to know. Okay, so that's it. That's all I got. I think I did a good job of filling up that 15 minutes. Anyway, thanks so much for just coming and listening to me chat and gush about my friends, and I really hope that you're all doing okay and finding your way to cope and stay somewhat sane as can be anyway, in wild times like this. So, wishing you well.